Hi everybody, this is Caitlin. We're going to be doing Lesson 5, Chapter 4, Example 23, found in Homework 2. So what we're going to be doing in this problem is preparing the closing entries for the temporary accounts at August 31st for Blossom Company. We have their trial balance sheet here. We're going to take their after adjustment numbers and use these to close out these accounts for this date. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to close revenue accounts. We have two sources of revenue, and we find that these revenues are in the credit section. So to close out those, we will close out the accounts by placing them in the debit category to zero those out. So we're going to start with service revenue. To close it out, we're going to debit $33,240. Next, we're going to do rent revenue. We will debit that of $14,340. That was right. And then we're going to do an income summary of our revenues. And we're going to credit that. We're going to do $33,240 plus $14,340 equals $47,580. Next, we're going to close our expense accounts. And we have 5 expense accounts. Here, their accounts are debited. So to close them, we're going to credit them. So our first expense account is salaries and wages expense. And we will, oops, I missed something. So we always put our debit accounts first. And since all of these are going to be credited, we're going to have our income summary be debited. So it will go first. We won't put that number in yet until we can transfer over all of our data. So we're going to do our salaries and wages expense. We're going to credit that of $18,400. Next is supplies expense. Credit that of $1,160. Next is rent expense. Credit that of $16,993. Next is insurance and expense, which we will credit as $1,330. And lastly, depreciation expense of $1,200. So now we're going to come back up to our income summary. We'll add those all together. So we have $18,400 plus $1,160 plus $16,993 plus $1,330 plus $1,200 equals $39,083. So we'll put that here. Next, we're going to close our income and loss accounts. To do this, we are going to take our credit income summary and our debit income summary. We're going to combine those. We're actually going to subtract our debit income summary, our expense income summary from our revenues so that we have net income or loss. So when we do that, we have $47,580 minus, oops, that's not right. $47,580 minus, oh my goodness. All right, $47,580 minus 39,083 leaves us with 8,497. And that's going to be in the credit category, because when you subtract that, there's still that number left in the credit category. So we'll put that here. This will be our income summary here. It's going to be the 8,497. $497. And here we're going to put retained earnings, and it's going to be the exact same price but in the debit category to zero out. Lastly, we're going to close our dividends accounts. Our dividends is in a debit balance. So to close that, we will credit it. So we'll credit dividends of $2,680, and we'll do retained earnings here of the same amount in the debit category. And that's how you do it. And I did this problem ahead of time to double check that we got all of those right. I hope this is helpful. I hope I answer any questions that you have. And thanks for listening and giving me the chance to teach you guys. Have a good day.